Hi, this is Coach Jeff Grant, and this message is for new runners or runners who have taken some time off and are getting back into the sport. I want to show you one thing, tell you a story, and share 3 tips that I believe will help you as you start your journey into the sport of running. What I want to show you is a pair of new running shoes. I just got these out of the box and I'm excited. I'm always excited when I get new running shoes, but for years, when I was in my 20s, I would get new running shoes every January, and I would have a New Year's resolution that I would run my first 5K, maybe my first 10K, that I would finally lose weight, and at the end of the year, the running shoes would look just as new as they did in January. I know what it's like to be at the beginning of the sport, and I know what it's like to face the challenges that every new runner faces. The story I want to tell you is a story about what I consider my first ultra run. And the funny thing is, this run was only 5 kilometers long. It was the first time I ran a 5K without walking. This was a huge goal for me. I was in the process of losing 70 pounds and transitioning from a sedentary office worker into a runner and into a triathlete. And I had this goal, and there was a signpost that was 1.5 miles away from the house, and I wanted to get to that signpost and get back to this imaginary finish line. And if I did that, then I would be successful. And if I could be successful in that one huge challenge that I put in front of myself, I thought I could build on it, and I could actually do my first 10K and work up to a half marathon and to a marathon. The joy I felt, and also the struggle I had to go through just to run that first 5K, it's the same thing as I experienced when I later would run 50 miles or 100 miles or do races that took over 30 hours long in the mountains or in deserts. It was the same feeling, and it actually means more to me 20 years later to have finished that first 5K, that first 3 miles without walking. That made a bigger impression and a bigger change in my life than runs that had larger numbers that I experienced later in life. Just keep in mind, it's not the quantity, it's not the number, it's that you're doing the sport, that you're putting yourself out there, that you're getting out of your comfort zone, and you're doing something that's good for your body and that's good for your mind. The 3 things I want to share with you as you're beginning this journey of running, the first is have an accountability buddy. And this could be a coach, but it can also just be a friend or someone you tell you're going to start running. I do this now. I do this all the time. Yesterday, I did not want to go out for a run. In Zurich right now, it's gray and it's cold, and I had a run scheduled, and I was finding every excuse not to go. And I thought, okay, I just need to commit to someone that I'm going to run today, and that will make me get out and run. So I found someone on Facebook, someone I was encouraging to run, and I said, hey, I need to run today. I don't feel like it, but I'm going to run in your honor. And I'm going to use this selfishly as motivation for me to get out the door. And I'm going to write you a note when I get back. That very simple gesture created a feeling of accountability. I needed to do the run to honor my friend. So I suggest you pick someone. It can be a different person every day, but make the commitment to them that you're going to do the run. And this will help you get out the door, because often the hardest part is just getting started. 5 or 10 minutes into the run, you may be feeling great and you'll wonder, why was I even putting this off? But in those hours and minutes before we actually get out the door, our brain can go wild and give us every reason that we shouldn't be running. So find a friend that you can tell that you're going to run, check in with them, and use that as motivation to fuel you. The second tip is, don't worry about how you look. Don't worry about your appearance when you're running. Don't worry if you feel like you're going slowly, or if you're walking and you're afraid someone's going to see you walking. I've coached so many runners who get in their heads about this, that they don't feel like they're dressed like a runner, or they don't have the body of a runner, or they're embarrassed if they have to walk a hill, or they're embarrassed if they have to walk after 15 or 20 minutes. Get all of that out of your head. You're doing this for you. You are all that matters. Run for yourself, walk for yourself, do fitness for yourself, and forget about what anyone else thinks. The only time you should have any concern at all about how you look is with technique. You want to make sure you're moving in a safe and an efficient pattern. Otherwise, the appearance, forget about it. Don't worry about it at all. Just get out there and get started. And lastly, celebrate micro victories. Micro victories can be as simple as the first time you run 10 minutes without walking, or the first time you finish your first 5K, or whatever the race distance is, or whatever the challenge is. Recognize the small victories and give yourself credit for it. I coach runners who will set a goal, such as breaking a 4-hour marathon or a 3-hour marathon, and they'll absolutely beat themselves up if that doesn't happen. And while it's good to have pressure for yourself, consider the big picture. I've seen runners go out on days when they were sick or the weather was bad and put in an incredible performance and look at their watch and it wasn't the number that they wanted to see and they were devastated. So just keep the big picture in mind and celebrate micro victories along the way. Celebrate your consistent training. Celebrate the small milestones. Don't set a single milestone as the only thing that will make you happy, but build and build on these micro victories, and you'll see that these micro victories add up and will give you a tremendous sense of confidence and of fulfillment. So to wrap up, have an accountability buddy. Don't worry about how you look, or if you have to walk, or if you're heavy and you feel like you don't look like a runner. It's all about you, not about what anyone else thinks about you. Third, celebrate the micro victories. Every single micro victory along the way, grab onto it, celebrate. Any defeats that you experience, that's your fuel, that's your passion to get out there, get it done, achieve those micro victories. So this video has been more about the psychology of getting started. There are lots of training plans out there to help you with the specifics of how much you should be running. And I also offer on my website and Facebook page more coaching guidance, lots of free guidance, lots of tips that will help you create that motivation and also help you start to recognize when your inner critic is trying to take over your mind and learn to develop the inner coach's voice, that positive voice that can coach you through the tough moments that you will experience when you're starting to run. There are also lots of beautiful moments out there for you awaiting in your journey as a runner. I sincerely wish you the best. Check in with me on Facebook, and I hope that running changes your life in a very positive way, just like it did mine when I started 20 years ago.